Hi everyone, I'm Dean Grzelcyk and I'm glad to have you on the webinar today. We're going to be going over some awesome content in regards to your business and why you should make your business mobilized, making sure it's mobilized. So let's talk about what we're actually going to be going over on this webinar. Okay, first I'm going to be introducing myself and let you know a little bit about my company. Then we're going to go over and into some of the benefits of making sure your business is mobile ready, as well as really some startling facts about where mobile is headed. You're going to love that, I know. And then from there, we're going to talk a bit about why a lot of businesses haven't gone mobile yet, followed by some common myths about mobilization. Finally, I'm going to open up the lines at the end where you can ask me whatever you want about mobilizing your business. Does that sound good? Alrighty, now if you can just type in the box there and let me know you can hear me okay. I want to make sure there's not anything wrong with the audio. Alrighty, sounds like we're doing good there. Alrighty, since I'm going to be opening up the lines at the end, if you could hold off any questions until the end. Maybe grab a pen and some paper and write down any questions you might have in regards to this webinar. Alright, well, as you're really aware, I'm very aware of your time and as a business owner, so I'm going to hop right into it here if that's okay with you guys. Okay, now first a little bit about me and my company. Okay, again, my name is Dean Grzelcyk and it's AWM for Advanced Web Marketing. And I just want to share a little bit about what we do. We do everything from websites to social media marketing, web formulas, blogs, pretty much anything you can think about when it comes to marketing your business and the internet. We also do a lot of video marketing, which is huge. A lot of people I know, their big main focus is getting on the first page of Google, which is very important. But that serves a different purpose than some other things. When you go to Google, you go to find information, you go to Amazon, you go to buy something. So, what our company does, we look at your business, we find out what it is that, people are going to be doing, looking for your business, and then we're going to try to make a blueprint for you and accommodate you to get you more business. And the whole idea, the main focus that we do at our business at AWM is to make sure that we can get you more business, and I'm talking 2, 3, 4 times the amount of business without, again, I want to make this very clear, without any additional or much additional time, more time from you. So that tells you a little bit about us, what we do, and again, you can, at the end, you can ask me more questions. You can go to our website and you can get a better idea for what we do, but we're going to go from there. So let's hop right in and go from there. So we're going to switch slides here. Now, let me ask you a question. On these 2 websites, if you were to go to a smartphone and you were to pull up these 2 particular websites, assuming you have a smartphone, if not, just put yourself in your customer's shoes and think about it from their perspective. I guess the one on the left, well, you're wrong. Obviously, it'd be the one on the right. It's pretty obvious that the website on the right is easier to view, navigate, opposed to the small content on the website on the left. Now, it's been proven that your customers will leave your website within 30 seconds if they cannot find it easily to use, easy to read. So mobile optimization websites are made and to fit on any mobile device. They are simply easier to look at, easier to read, and see the icons and text. So that's the whole purpose of making sure you're mobile. Now on this next slide here, you can see here why you should be going mobilized on your website. First of all, more and more businesses are starting to jump on the bandwagon and making sure that they have a mobile version of their site. In this case, it's a great example of the early bird gets the worm. So when somebody is searching for, let's say in this case, their vertical or their city, whose website is going to stand out? The one that is impossible to navigate or the one that's easy to navigate and simple to call to action? That's a no-brainer, right? Another thing is take into account here is that more and more people are accessing the internet via their mobile devices, whether it comes from a smartphone or a tablet. The main thing to understand here is that the only going to become more and more important to make sure you have a mobile version of your website. Interesting statistic here, by 2014, mobile Wi-Fi access is going to overtake fixed internet access. In fact, it's on pace to happen a lot sooner than you think. Right now, a little interesting fact, there are almost 5 times the number of mobile devices than there are PCs. Okay, you don't want to be the person left behind in this scenario. With more and more customers using their smartphones to look for their vertical or their whatever they're looking for in their industry, it only makes sense to make sure that you do everything on your end to make sure your business is the obvious choice for them to do business with you. No matter what your business is or service is, you want to make sure that you're easy to find and it's easy to read. Now, I don't recommend writing to your competitors to jump in there. You can get in before they do, obviously, and you're going to benefit from those mobile searches, guaranteed. Now, another thing too, we only work with, we'll get mobile sites and that for just about anybody, but when we come to marketing, with this little sidebar here, we're going to only do one particular business in a particular geographical area. So you'll get that expertise on us. Again, the mobile website is one thing, optimizing it and marketing and doing that is a whole nother thing. So it's another reason to make sure your business is mobilized. In fact, half of all local searches done on a mobile device, meaning your customers, the ones that actually matter to you, are actually searching for local businesses to work with. Plus, when somebody does a local search, they are usually a hot lead and looking for their problem to be fixed now. When's the last time you looked for a local dentist so you could be ready in 5 months from now? When you look at that, you decide to move forward and you go to the dentist 5 months from now? No. Before we move into the benefits of the mobile websites, let's talk about just for a minute one other cool feature in itself makes a mobile site worthwhile. There's a function that only works with mobile optimized sites. It's called click to call. When somebody goes to your site, there's going to be a large icon that says click to call, click to call, tap to call. There's a number of ways of doing it, but basically they're going to see something that pops up and your number's there and they just tap it to automatically dial your number. Much easier for your customers to reach you to buy or for your service. Do you see the power in that? Again, they're not going to have to stop, pull over, and dial the number. As much as we hate it, people do things when they're driving, so by all means, make it as easy as possible. Okay, that feature in itself makes mobile optimization website a must. It's hard enough having a clear call to action stand out on your website, which actually gets your users to take particular action. But with a simple click of a button on their smartphone, they can be in contact with you in a matter of seconds. All right, now to move on to some other benefits of the mobile website. Now, on this next slide, the first benefit of a mobile optimized website is improved customer experiences. Now, mobile websites are specifically designed for a handful of devices. Nobody wants to browse a desktop website on their smartphone. Research on mobile websites usually shows that mobile optimized websites significantly improve user experiences and satisfaction, which makes a positive impression when it counts. And I'm sure you can see that. Now, the next benefit is faster download speed. Websites are specifically designed for mobile standards and optimal download speeds, which means less waiting and more browsing. Studies show that 72% of your users will leave your website if it does not load within 20 seconds. Standard websites normally take longer to load on a mobile device opposed to mobile optimized sites. I'm sure you've experienced that too. Now, another awesome benefit is improved SEO performance. A mobile website provides improved rankings on mobile-friendly search engines such as Google and Yahoo, and also allows placements in a growing number of mobile and local directories, meaning your mobile websites will have more visibility compared to your competitors who still have a standard website. I hope you can see the power in that. Now, probably the most important benefit is it gives you a huge, huge competitive advantage. Now, a mobile website puts you in a position to stand out among competitors. If your website doesn't look good on a smartphone, users will move on to one that does. And I'm sure you've done it yourself. You think about it for a second. How many times have you gone to your phone and looked for something either doesn't load quick enough or you can't read it? You go on to the next search, one that you can read. So a mobile website ensures that you, not your competitors, will capture your visitors' attention while you have it. Now the next benefit might not actually be a benefit. It's inevitably. The mobile web is no longer a concept. It is mainstream. Again, remember, there are almost 5 times the amount of mobile devices. Now that includes phones, tablets, all that. And that is going to impact any organization that aims to communicate with the target audience online. Now, most leading industry analysts project that within a few short years, mobile devices will overtake PCs as common web access devices. Now, that's worldwide. Now, another thing to remember really here is, have you noticed when mobile phones first came out, they were huge and then they went to go small. Have you noticed how they're getting larger now? The screen size, they went from a larger screen, then they went to the tablet. Now it seems like they're working in around that 7-inch kind of screen size. So just think about it for a minute. They're trying to find what is the ultimate in sort of a screen size for the do anything, do everything kind of device. And they're getting there, that's for sure. So anyway, the last benefit, they are a fraction of the price of a standard website. While standard websites can cost upwards to $5,000, mobile websites are generally nowhere near that price point. Normally you can get one done for 1/10 of that price. Now if you're techie, I'll also direct you to a few websites online that will allow you to build your own website. Again, saving you some dough. Now, going to the next slide here, it is true that over 70% of businesses have yet to go mobile. Not sure why, but it's a fact. However, it was closer to 85% about a year ago, which shows that more and more business owners are catching on and seeing the importance of a mobile website. Now, a lot of business owners don't realize yet how important that is or how important it's going to be. Again, going back to the previous stat, as I said back in 2014, mobile internet access will overtake fixed internet access. I'm sure more business owners would jump on that if they knew that. They'd want to get their piece and not trying to be playing catch up all the time. Now, another reason is they just don't know how to go about getting a mobile website optimized, okay? There are plenty of services out there and well as websites that can walk you through the process, so that shouldn't be an issue. Now, a lot of business owners don't have the time to learn, when in fact, they shouldn't. You should not have to learn how to build a website, a mobile website. You should be able to focus on what's the most important to you, and that is getting more business for your business. Now, the next point is similar to the first point, but they just aren't educated on the topic. If you knew how important it was going to be and how important it is, don't you think you would jump on board? You luckily are being educated now. Lastly, they just don't know the facts. The facts that you get increased visibility on mobile devices alone should be enough to want you to jump on board. But unfortunately, most business owners, again 70%, don't know the facts. They may think that knowing the facts, but in reality, they may think they know the facts, but in reality, to them it's just myths. So let's go over some of those myths about mobile optimization. Now going to the next slide here, myth number 1, only big businesses need a mobile website. A small mom and pop coffee shop shouldn't need one, but you know what? They need one just as much, if not more, than a larger company. Using mobile strategies as a large chain store, and even maybe more so than a large chain store. Smaller companies are perfect for creating an intimate relationship that can foster via social networks such as Twitter and Facebook, and we all know how important that is. Myth number 2, that only young people use smartphones. Boy, it couldn't be further from the truth. Now, from the baby boomer to the busy mom to corporate executives, mobile devices are used, and they're used by everyone most every day on a day-to-day basis. But in fact, 64% of the 25 to 34-year-olds own a smartphone, and 30% of the 55 to 64-year-olds do. It's the latter group that are turning heads, and their rate of adoption is increasing faster than any other group, according to the 2011 Nielsen surveys. A lot of them have, that haven't wanted to get involved with a PC, for example, being too complicated, are finding out how easy a tablet is to use. Myth number 3, mobile websites mean developing an app. Okay, we do apps also. There are mobile websites and there are mobile apps. We're talking right now about mobile websites. If it's an app, yes, it's a little bit different. Although apps are a great way to quickly and easily entice mobile consumers, apps are not all to be all in the mobile craze. They can be incorporated into a grander campaign of text messaging, QR codes, push messages. Oh, it gets endless. But if you're just looking for a way for your customers to reach you while using their mobile device, an optimized website is perfect. Okay, myth number 4. Hope you're following along here. You can't mix standard websites and mobile websites, when in fact you can. Now, again, I would strongly recommend that we optimize them differently because there's a benefit to it. But again, you can mix them. When you're creating a mobile website, you are actually creating a separate website that is recognized by smartphones. While the domain may appear to be the same, the sites themselves will show up differently depending upon the device you are using. You gotta love technology. Okay, myth number 5, regular websites will work just fine. Ain't gonna happen. Trying to view a link-heavy or visually stimulating website on a mobile device can leave you beyond frustrated. In fact, it doesn't take long to get frustrated. You just go on to the next one that you can read. It's the ease of navigation and screen size that's so important to take consideration when developing a mobile website. This is even more vital when you're figuring that nearly half of all smartphone users, which is estimated to be over 100 million, have purchased an item directly from their mobile device. How many times have you gone on to try to find out how to get somewhere? I mean, keep that in mind. And if you found a place and you could just tap to get directions or tap to make a call, wouldn't that be cool? Okay, myth number 6, mobile is only beneficial if you're selling something. Again, couldn't be further from the truth. Really, any business in existence can benefit one way or another. If you're selling something, that's one thing, but what about like a doctor's office? They get a cancellation. Now, there are ways that you can send out messages right away on a mobile device. Instead of having your receptionist having to pick up the phone and say, "Hi, Mary, did you still want to try to get an appointment today?" Or not being able to reach Mary, they can send out a message to everybody and say, "Hey, we had 2 openings open up today, one at 1, one at 3, first come, first serve." That takes all of about, well, if you're using an app, it's easier than sending out an email. It only takes 15 seconds to get there. So within, a minute or 2, as long as it would take to make a phone call, one phone call, you've actually sent out a message to everybody. So it's huge. Now, let's go to this the next slide here. Some of the frequently asked questions, again, just to go over a few things with you. Again, let's just kind of go over the topics. Mobile website and a standard website. You can optimize them differently and you get a benefit from that. You're out there, you're looked at as like almost 2 entities and you're not. So it's that much more. It's another thing to be linked to the other. You can link it to pages on your website. So there's a bunch of things you can do there. Remember, there's almost 5 times the number of mobile devices than there are PCs. Another interesting fact that you may not know, there are more mobile devices than there are drinking water, clean drinking water. It's a fact. Somebody may not have electricity, someone may not have drinking water, but they'll have a mobile device. They'll have a phone. As sad as that is, it's true. So you got to keep those facts and figures in mind. Going to the next slide here. I'm asked all the time, where can I get a mobile website? Or how can I make a mobile website? As I told you earlier, I'll pass on some of that information to you, and I'm going to do that right now. So hopefully you have that pen and piece of paper I told you to grab. Write these down here. You've got www.mob as in boy, D as in dog, is.com, mobdis.com. You've got www or http //wapple.net, wapple.net, and you've got www.dudamobile.com, dudamobile.com. Now those are some really good options if you're a techie person and you'd rather try to learn this and do it yourself. Again, totally up to you. Now, if you want a professional to do it, if you want to use our company, again, you can do that, and I'll give you the links and the websites and all that later. We can give you a bid. You can send us an email. We can talk about what it is you do, what website you have now. We can kind of go from there. So again, getting you set up in that, we'd love to help you there. But those three places should give you a good start if that's what you'd like to try yourself. Now, next slide here. Aren't mobile websites expensive? That's probably why you're thinking about, hey, I can do it myself. But before you do that, they really aren't. They aren't expensive. There are a number of ways that they can be priced out. So again, if you want to have us look at it and give you a bid on what it would cost, sometimes you can have it done where you just pay a monthly fee. Other times you pay one big upfront fee. Sometimes it's kind of a combination of both. Now, a combination of both would be setting up a website for a fee, and then helping maybe you market, optimizing it, doing some things to keep you up and on curve and ahead of everybody else. Maybe sending out some text messages, some push messages, depending upon which way you go mobile. So that's something to keep in mind. Again, I can guarantee that through whatever we do with the mobile website, it will only be a fraction of the cost of what your other site was. Again, if you want more details, I'd be more than glad to give you a quote. That's kind of it now. Kind of ran over what I planned on. I was trying to keep this to about a 15-20 minute deal because I know everybody is very, very busy with business. So what I'm going to do here, instead of opening it up for questions and answers, as this next slide says here, what I'm going to have you do is if you'll just send me an email. You can send it to dean@awm4, the number 4, results.com, and or give me a call at 866-901-4589, extension 111. I can give you a bid. We can talk about what you're looking for and thinking about, give you some great ideas. But do that. Get those to me. Let me answer your questions. And again, you can go to our website at www.awm, the number 4, results.com. You can get an idea of everything we do. If maybe you have a mobile site and you're trying to optimize it, maybe you want an app, maybe you just want some help with marketing and getting yourself noticed out there, getting some more business. So again, I want to thank you very, very much. Hopefully this was informative. You understand and know why it's so important now to have a mobile device, a website, excuse me, that can be seen on a mobile device and read on a mobile device. Keep it simple if you're doing it yourself. You don't want to mumble jumble with a lot of pages and that. Usually about 5 to 7 pages is what you want on a mobile device. Anyway, thank you and have a great day.